Alright, what's going on there YouTube? Well, hopefully you can see me alright in amongst our dirty old kitchen table here and all these tractor parts. I've got the W4 pretty much ready to go for assembly, and I might even paint it in this video too. But anyway, I got all our holes drilled, our casting seams sanded out beautifully. Now I kind of went ahead and I pre-fit everything. Then that way your assembly goes together, then I had a little bit of time to make things fit nicely. Anyway, like I said before, our casting seam came out nice. I had one little mistake. I drilled my hole for my air cleaner, and my drill bit wobbled in my drill and maybe got a little bit of shaving in it. It just hogged the hole just that little bit too much. So I went ahead and I filled it back in and then just re-drilled it out, and it fits in there perfectly. So I put that in there and it sits perfect. Same with the rad cap. I put it in there and it fit in there nice and tight. So I just left it in there. Our front end's held together nicely. I just kind of stuck these clutch pedals in there, not glued in there, or sorry, our brake pedals. And a little trick I did for those, they're not glued, they're just very small and hard to hold. I used a piece of copper wire because it was just the exact gauge I needed for the drill bit I had. I just opened those holes up just a little bit. It's all it needed, and then they slid in there perfectly. Absolutely perfect. But about the only thing I have left to really clean up before we go together are the fender holes. They fit pretty close, but I wanted to use our snap-on file here. And I am a little guilty because I've been watching that snap-on junkie channel again. And you know, most of you guys know I was an apprentice mechanic years ago. And I still have the addiction for the snap-on stuff, so like I said, you just take your time and do a nice job on things, and alright, that'll fit right together, just right perfectly almost. Just like that. A little bit of glue, should be perfect. What about this side? There are little notches that help you line the fenders up. This one's pretty much perfect now. So anyway, we'll start putting some of the little parts on, and we'll put it together and get it ready to go out to the paint shop. Because I am actually very, very excited to put some paint on this tractor. I've been working on it all week. Haven't necessarily got everything on camera, but I wanted to make sure everything was nice and perfect, and that way when we go to do the video, everything goes together nicely. I did kind of the sanding and cleanup work. I didn't think you guys want to watch me sand and buff parts and this and that and whatnot, but once again, of course, this kit comes from Jolly's Farm Toys, so thanks very much, Nick, for giving us the opportunity to do this. So we'll start by gluing in our fuel cap and our gas tank here. And of course, when you're building a project like this, of course, looking at pictures of big tractors helps, and having books helps, and if you have a back tractor in the back shed, it really helps. But what I did end up doing though, went to Princess Auto on my way home from work this morning. I picked up a needle file set. They're only about $6-7 at Princess, and these things are perfect. These are probably the best tool that you can ever buy for $5. So they're just, of course, little needle files. There's a set of about 6 of them. It even comes with a little handle to hold on to, because my fingers get sore when I hold on to small stuff. I got tendonitis in my hands, and yeah, it's a great little set. So I needed them to get in here underneath the gas tank and file out a little bit of JB weld. And there's that little support piece from when they cast it that had to get sanded off, so I was able to get that off no problem. So what was I doing? Light. I'll put this light in because I got it in my hand. This, of course, is just crazy glue. It'll work alright because I'm pretty sure as soon as I get this one painted, it's just going to go right on the shelf with everything else. But I'm actually going to go to IKEA, for those of you that don't know. Those glass cabinets I got are from IKEA. They're about $80 a pop. I'm going to pick up a 5th one, and I think I'm going to make that specifically for kits and custom builds and whatnot like that. So, or it'll turn into another 164 cabinet, because you guys all know how full my cabinets are. So now the tractor's got a little bit of a face on it. So isn't that good looking? Isn't that good looking? Jesus. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, the muffler, I'll show you guys how it looks. Of course, I was glued in place. I left a little bit of room to play with it. The muffler, of course, is going to be a stainless steel color when it's done. So that does not get painted red. We'll put our belt pulley together here. I was actually thinking about maybe getting a piece of dowel that's about this size. These tractors came with a paper pulley as well. Might try to make like a paper pulley saddle with this ring on it. I might even have some dowel out in the shed or at my dad's house. I don't know where it is exactly right now, but maybe I'll try and machine a little paper pulley for this tractor and we'll see how it turns out. Or of course you can just leave the kit as it comes. Nothing wrong with the kit, but you know, there's always little things here and there you can add to anything. That's part of the hobby, of course. Of course, this one's a little bit tight, but that's what you want. You want things to fit nice and tight. Shouldn't really do this either. You shove a screwdriver towards yourself. That's how you end up getting poked, but there. You don't want it too tight because you want that to be able to rotate. So you get build a little battery operated something or other, and you can have your belt pulley turned. Okay, so the toolbox is on. Lights are in. Brake cleaner, fuel cap. I guess we'll do the drawbar next. I pre-fitted the hoop there for the drawbar because that helps hold the back casting together. So then you get these little pegs, and then the other bar goes on top there. So I'll cement these pegs in there first. That way they can go in there. I think we'll do the fenders last because I gotta put obviously the brake pedals and the clutch pedal, that stuff on first. Then I still gotta build that steering rod. So because the steering rod's gonna come up off this kind of wishbone piece here, then come up and then bend up in here. So almost right above where that clutch lever goes. You gotta take another look at it. I got a good picture online, and I'll have another little look and see just where exactly it goes, and that way I can bend it with a little piece of copper, and I can make a little steering rod for the tractor too. So of course, when I was doing my video, and when I took some still pictures of the kit that Nick had on display at his open house there last weekend, I only got pictures of the one side and the top. I didn't get a picture of the steering rod, so that's okay. We can always look on the big one. There's lots of pictures, of course, Google or if you got books or whatever, you know. The information is easy enough to find. But there, that's your drawbar put together. This crazy glue dries really, really fast too, so I'm quite surprised. Of course, if you get your finger stuck in something, your finger's going to stay there. So of course, I'll take our steering wheel, which I sanded up all nice. Actually, I just got a little spot there. Little spot in the back side. There. That's why you always keep this kind of stuff handy. And of course, I got a little precision screwdriver here too, just to kind of help poke things in. And a set of tweezers helps you out too, if you don't want to get super glue all over your fingers. Now the only real uncertainty I have is when I go to paint this. I know that obviously the inner rims are going to be red, because you guys saw that teaser in my last video. But these outer rings, I'm not sure if they should be aluminum or if they're like a galvanized color. So I got to do a little bit more research on that. I'm just not 100%, I'm about 95% sure they're like a galvanized color, but I'm not 100% certain. But anyway, here's our brake pedals. A little peg that I made up there. I'll put this in this side. Hopefully I can get this little pin in there. I may have to very well go get a set of tweezers to do this, so bear with me. I'll get a set of tweezers and that might help us out a little bit. I got some tweezers here. I've already, of course, sanded up our ends of this little peg, and that way she looks nice and flush when it's all said and done. Should do a little video for some of you guys that's just beginning in this building tractors business, if you've been following my channel long enough. I think I kind of touched on it in one of the videos I did back in the winter time, but go over some of the tools you guys should have on hand if you're going to get into this building your tractor business. But of course, you'll learn as you go too. You'll learn, you know, that pick this up will help you do this, and pick that up will help you do that, and this and that. Of course, that fits in there nice and tight. Then we'll stick our brake pedals on here. Wondering if because I got some glue on there now that pin doesn't want to go in there as easily as it was before. Of course, I don't want it sticking out too far. Center punch. Just trying to get this pin in here a little bit farther than it is. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm gonna put a little dab of the glue on that pedal just to lock it on there. It fits pretty tight on the pin, but a little bit of security never hurt. And we'll repeat with the clutch side. And put a little dab on. Done it this way too. Oh, maybe not. I've also had the pins inside the pedals first and installed them, so there's more than one way you can do this, of course. Ow. Peeling my skin. There, that goes on there beautifully. Just like that. There, so now we got our operational pedals, of course. Of course, once the glue dries, that pin should rotate in there a little bit. And then, if you really wanted to show somebody your handiwork, there you go. Alright. That's our clutch, brake, all those. I guess you can put the PTR. Our PTO shield can go on. A little spot there. Sand out. Ow. Now, the only thing I have not really drilled out yet is that hole for the PTO shaft, that little nub to go through. There's a little spot there. There's a little nub for that PTO shaft that goes in there. You have to drill that out too, so now's the time to do all your little detail work, because once it's painted, anything that you don't fix right now, you're gonna see. So now, of course, you can always sand it afterwards, or then go ahead and do touch-ups on it. But it's nice to have this stuff done right the first time, of course. Why is this not sitting right? I guess I read. There. We can glue that on there next. Hopefully not get my fingers covered in glue again. This stuff is real nasty to try to get off your fingers, so There, just like that. So anyway, I'm going to take a little break here for a minute and peel some of this stuff off my fingers, and I'll come back and put the fenders on. Here she is, boys. I bent up a steering rod, and I just mounted the fenders because I got them, and I just test fitted, and they fitted on perfect, so I just went ahead and super glued them on there. So if I can spin this around, I'll show you my steering rod that I made. I have a piece of copper wire. These ones always just had a pretty good bend in them up here, and also on the real one they had a little kink in a flat spot in the steering rod, so that when you turn the tires real tight it doesn't rub. But I think we're ready for the paint shop, boys, so I'm gonna meet you guys out there in just a minute. On second thought, it's kind of dark to go out and record in the shop right now, boys. It's still kind of raining out, and it's getting late at night, and yeah, I don't think the camera will pick it up all that well because I want to get it on camera for you guys. But if you're interested in one of those W4 kits or any other kit, be sure to hit up Nick at Jolly's Farm Toys. The website address will be in the description box down below. Or if you're interested in sending me a tractor, combine, piece of equipment for the greatest farm toy collection on YouTube, and get yourself a big shout out. The P.O. box address is in the description box down below. Greatly appreciate everything you guys send in. Love your fan support. Please comment, rate, subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one.